Hi, everybody. It's Wednesday, 6 p.m., time for a new live. And tonight we're going to be talking about empathic clear sensation. So, if you are a highly skilled psychic, or you think you might be, but you want to know for certain, this one is for you. Now, some of you might feel like this isn't me at all, and I just want to develop this. If that's the case, that's great too. Psychic skills encompass a lot of things. So today we're going to be talking about the messages and intuitive hits that go through your nervous system, right? And we're going to be talking about specifically about empaths. Now, everyone can do these exercises for sure. But if you are an empath, this is going to be super helpful for you to be able to protect your energy. All right. So, and we're going to call this empathic clear sensation. I'm going to give you some examples of where this empathic clear sensation occurs. If you don't have to be in, and you don't have to be in the present time for a psychic perception to occur, right? You can experience empathic clear sensation if you're thinking about something back on a memory. If you were in a situation where your body was going through something, whether it was feeling nauseous or agitated or scared or concerned or whatever, the moment you're thinking back to that time, you might start to relieve it and feel it again in your body in the present time, right? This is you actually having actually more than memory recall because, of course, the body remembers. But also, you're doing it on a soul level where you're having an empathic connection to your younger self, to your past self, right? To your younger self. And you're relieving it to feel it in your body. Now, this is going to be really helpful if you're wanting to work to process this experience out, or if you want to remember how did this experience impacted you, because the body keeps a score, right? That's a book. Bessel van der Kolk wrote that great book called The Body Keeps a Score about trauma and recovery. And I highly recommend it. People that are really sensitive sometimes are triggered because of traumatic events, and they are hyper alert or hyper aware. If this sounds like you may want to invest in that book. Body Keeps the Score. It's a small, well, not like that, but it's a small book, and it's a little old, but it's really good. It's fabulous. The information is great and still pertinent, in my opinion. Now, empaths go around sucking up negative energy, whether they realize it or not. They often transmute it through their own body. Sometimes they'll feel like when they're hanging around somebody that got all the aches and pains and what have you, they might pick it up themselves before realizing it or trying to figure out how to shift it. It's great for empath to work with the angelic realms because the angels, the angelic realm, transmutes energy and disruptive energy. So you can sit in meditation and ask your guides or your angels, please go and help clear my auric field, my aura. And you, of course, you should clear your energy on a daily basis. And if you don't know how to do that, write in the comments energy clear or energy clean, and I'll let you know how to do that. It's very easy. I do it every day, twice a day. Now, think back at a time, an elated, happy time. Maybe that would be more comfortable than a traumatic time in your life. But to just notice, where did that happiness sat in your body? So where in your body did you feel really good about something and about yourself? Where in your body? So reintegrate that sensation into your body so you might then gather once again that energetic benefit of the past experience, because the brain doesn't know the difference, right? When something is actually happening, or when we're remembering something, or when we're imagining something, the body don't know. The body don't know. The brain doesn't know the difference. So that's why that imagination, that visualization is so important into manifesting, because for the brain, it's the same thing. So you can just do this by closing your eyes in meditation and having the intention of, I want to go back to when I felt really great, you know. So empathic clear sensation is also when you want to hang out in the room next to the really cool person, because it's not anything they say or do, it's their vibe, right? This empathic clear sensation is about the cool vibe, is or not so cool vibe, and knowing is about the knowing where you want to go. Okay, it's about developing that awareness. The importance about this, again, is having that awareness, because the feeling can go either way depending on the situation. The same is true when you're thinking about, like, when you were little, and you used to know immediately which friends you wanted to hang out with, or in the classroom where you really wanted to sit, if your teacher allowed for you to sit wherever you wanted to. The same is true in a business meeting or a family gathering. When you're like, I'm not sitting over there next to that person because that always makes me feel bad, right? My whole body is like achy, because I'm sitting next to so and so who carries all their troubles on their sleeves. So you don't want to be picking up and taking care of their crap. It's their job to look in the mirror and deal with their own lives. Um, and you know that you're super sensitive, which is a great thing. Trust me, I know it doesn't feel like that sometimes, but you make a great empathic psychic. So be selective in your healing work that you do, in the cleaning up that you do. So these are two exercises I'm throwing out at you. One is doing the meditation, meditative moment where you're going back in your own timeline. And you're doing the empathic clear sensation actually on your former self, right? And we all can do this. We also can go forward, but that's another conversation. The second exercise will be the next time you are at some gathering, a party, a meeting, whatever, whether you're in a classroom or a business meeting or a family gathering, and use your body as a radar just to discern where do you want to sit by, or who do you want to sit by. Okay, what part of the room is going to be most beneficial for me and my energy? Because you're going to know. Be aware of the subtle sensations on your body and in your body. Okay, do you know, you know where your auric field, right? Your aura is the energy body around your body. It actually goes as far as your arms can reach, but you can make it bigger or smaller depending on what you want to do with it. So if you're going to enter a room, you can make your auric field go across the room. And you can do this very quickly, but if you've never done it, you can practice it first by when you're doing meditation. So when you're in meditation, you want to expand your aura and then make it smaller. You first want to expand it as big as the room. Like when you're sitting in meditation, you have the intention to expand your aura as big as the room you're in, right? And then you bring it back. with your intention. Then you spread it as big as the building you're in, and then you bring it back. And then you spread it out as big as your neighborhood, bring it back, then the city, then the state, and so on and so forth. So when you're comfortable with this, then you take it to where you're going, right? When your auric field rubs into another, like touches another auric field by intention, then you can ask, how are they doing? Right? How you doing? Without saying how you doing. You're able to perceive what their feelings as an empath, empathically. So if you wonder if you're skilled or you just have to pay attention that you're doing this, and I'm sure you're doing it all the time. Those are two great exercises. We are made of energy. We all have auric fields. Everything has an auric field. Various cities, rooms, countries, cities, they all contain energy and auric fields. So listen, I've walked inside stores that I can't stay in because my body's picking up feelings that I'm not comfortable with, and it's not for my highest good to stay there. I'll share a story, and this happened 2, 3 weeks ago, maybe a month, but no more than that. And I'm not gonna say the name of the store because that's not fair to them. But it's a very well-known like chain. So I go in, and within a couple minutes, I start feeling overwhelmed, which is strange because I hardly ever feel overwhelmed like that. You know, I'm a highly sensitive person, or an empath, so I really don't feel overwhelmed. But this is a really big store, and I thought maybe it's because there's such a big selection um, of everything that I'm feeling like way. You know, like when you go to a restaurant and they serve you a menu that's a book like that, and you're like, oh my god, like that. You know, it's a big store and there's so much that maybe that's why I'm feeling overwhelmed. But I continue to feel like I just don't want to be there and I want to leave. So I had a couple little things in my hand. So I'm like, I'm leaving. I don't want to be here. I want to go. So I go to the cashier because I want what I have in my hand. And of course, there's people having issues in the cashiers. So I have to wait. Oh boy, let me tell you. First, I got headaches, which is also rare. I never get headaches. And my heart was racing, and all of a sudden everything goes dark. Like when it gets cloudy, that you notice the change in the light, like that. Um, then I started having these thoughts that I know were not mine, like judging people and having these horrible negative thoughts in my head. And I'm like, what is happening? This is not me. So I told myself, this is just the energy of the place. There's obviously something here because I you know put the points together. So I'm like, this is just an energy. This is not you. You're okay. You're protected. Archangel Michael's got you. Everything is going to be okay. So I pay for my items, head out the door. Feeling the fresh air was the best thing in the world. And I had to stay in my car for a few minutes, gathering my thoughts with the AC on, like before I could start driving. It was really horrible experience. So I was running some errands that day, and I carry a little like little glass jar in my purse. Sometimes I've used when you buy prescription medication, and you finish your prescription, you can use that too, with salt and cinnamon. And I keep it in my purse. And the very next place I stop, I went into the bathroom and washed my hands with that good stuff. It cleans your energy, like boom. So you want to start paying attention to these things. And I can hear some of you going like, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. So yeah, pay attention because your body doesn't lie. It doesn't. When you start feeling like, ooh, pay attention because there's something there. Did you get a headache? Are you agitated? Do you get a stomach ache? All this negative stuff. That's why I want you. That's why I want you to pay attention. That's the stuff that I want you to pay attention to. And then you can step out. Um, and there you ask yourself, is it there? Is it clear? Or do you have to actually, like I use the salt and the cinnamon to clear my energy and my intention to clear my energy? Do you have to do something physically or intentionally to clear energy, or did it just go away when you stepped out? To clear it, you can also imagine like light rain coming down and cleansing your auric field. And then you can step back in if you want to. I'm not going ever back there. It was really bad, to see if it feels different. Because sometimes energies get attached to us, so it's us, not the place. It just kind of sometimes a space like makes that energy stronger somehow. So we feel it when we go in, but sometimes it's just us. That's why we need to clear our energy every day. Um, so these are great skill for empaths, just noticing what's in the space. So look, there's a million ways to tune into a body or a space. This is only one of many. The same as you could do it if you want to tune into a partner, a coworker, or a child, especially somebody that's not able to say or communicate how they're feeling, and you're trying to ascertain what they're feeling. You could do this with animals, your pets, babies, or somebody that's impaired that cannot tell you how they feel. It's really fantastic. You just have to trust the first thing that you get. Just trust it. Just go in with the intention. What are they feeling? Then you trust the first thing that you get, those sensations, and don't discount that. Don't start to try to analyze it and say, am I right? Am I making this up? No, 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 no. You know, if that's your intention, the first thing that you get, just trust that. Trust it. Don't discount it. So you ask them, hey, do you have this going on? Sometimes people say, oh, I got this going on. And I'm like, okay, yeah. But I feel like this is originating from this, your knee pain originates from that, from down to your foot or your ankle, blah, 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 whatever it is. It's just a great way to use your body to tune into the other person's body. Then when you're finished with somebody, then you clear with the intention. You can say, I intentionally disconnect this connection. Kind of disconnect the connection because you don't want to bring them around with you all day, right? Them and their sensations and their body around for the rest of your day. You want to disconnect. You want to feel your own feelings. But mostly it's just about a really quick getting the information so that you can have it for whatever you need it, and then stepping out of their fields and stepping out of their mind, out of their awareness and that connection to go on with your life. So if somebody, ask you, I have an ache or this, whatever, you can just go in and feel that and then ask where the root causes are. But after you're done with your work, then you have to have the intention. And listen, a lot of us, me included, I did that so many times that I used to do hundreds and hundreds of readings at a park. I did it for donations. This was way back when in the day. And oh my God, I would see hundreds of people in one day. I was doing it in 4 hours, and I had lines that I could not see the end of it. So I did hundreds of readings in a day, and I would come home and felt like somebody beat me up with a baseball bat because I never cleared. Oh my God. That way I brought up Ghost with me one day, and he was really nice. Thankfully, he never really bothered me. He was just getting into everything. My meditation, my friends did readings for me and they could see him. I mean, it was just kind of, it was funny, really. He was sweet. But I had to get rid of him. So because I never cleared, you have to clear. You have to clear. So if you forget, don't beat yourself up. But that's something that you really need to get into the habit of doing. You do work, you clear. So you open yourself up to either help a person or just have the awareness of the space. And then when you're done, you have to close up and clear. And sometimes you forget, but you have to make the habit of remembering that. So you can also do this with friends when you're out and about and be like, hi, I'm trying to do this. Don't say anything, right? Physically to them. Like I'm going to try this and I'm going to just meld my energy field with yours. But you need to see how they're feeling, but you need to ask permission, and not you don't have to ask them for permission. You have to ask their higher self for permission. I mean, if you want to ask for permission, that's fine. If you have friends that are gonna say yes, just go ahead. But sometimes when you go places, you don't know people like that. You don't want to ask them like that, but you need to ask for permission. You have to ask their higher self, and you will know right away because a yes in your body feels very different than no. So you go with the intention, higher self of so and so, beautiful lady or gorgeous man or whatever. Can I meld my energy field with yours, in your head? And you will feel it in your body. A yes feels very different than a no. So you will know. I did this one time. There was a bunch of us with a shaman who was doing this class, this workshop, and he was going around tuning into us to give us information. And while he was tuning into me, I was tuning into him to see how he was tuning into me. And the second I did, I entered his auric space, his aura, to try to tune in to him with my empathic skills. He looked at me and he was like, how dare you? I mean, he was joking, but it was funny. You're tuning into me like like while I'm tuning into you. I'm like, yeah, I am. It was funny. No, he was cool. He was cool. He was just messing with me. But there are such things as space invaders, and this is not so much as an exercise, but it's more noticing when somebody is doing that to you. So perhaps, unfortunately, we have we all have in our family that creepy uncle or creepy auntie that loves to invade your space energetically, right? You know who they are. And they're psychically doing this and it doesn't feel good. It creeps you out. Or maybe you're in the bus or wherever. You have to sit next to this creepy person and you're just like, ugh, I don't want to be in this space. And you can feel them like entering in your energetic field, like when you feel like somebody's looking at you and you're like trying to ignore them, they're doing this psychically, and maybe they don't even realize that they're doing it, but they are. So there's a couple of ways that you can stop this. Again, this is caretaking exercise, right? um, when you're feeling like somebody's invading your space, and they're creeping you out, whether you're across the room or they're sitting next to you, you immediately can imagine a wall between the two of you. It's gonna be like boom. Like when you walk into a when you walk into a one of those doors that is just glass, and sometimes They're close and people don't notice, and boom, that's the way it's gonna feel. Boom. So you put up a wall um, between you, so you're protected in your space. And if you turn, you can also turn and imagine that a mirror, but the mirror has to be facing them. But now you you have to surround that mirror with pink light, so it's surrounded by love and compassion, right? Because it's all about evolution, right? And love. And I don't say like that lightly. Because the mirror is going to reflect back to them what they're doing this to you is fantastic, but you don't want to add into the negativity, right? Imagine just a full length mirror between you and them reflecting back to them. I know, and I know some of you will be like, can I just throw darts? Well, of course you can do that, but that's on you. Um, so, you can go ahead and do that, but you don't want to add to the negativity. So what I do is I imagine a mirror, because they're gonna get back to them what they're throwing at you. So you don't have to throw anything back at them, but you want to surround your mirror with pink light, love and light, right? um, Now you can, of course, also say, you're creeping me out or whatever. But if you're stuck like in a plane on a situation or with family members, you don't want to do that, right? Put yourself in a difficult position. Uh, Now, if you can change seats, well, go ahead, do that, but that'll be great. So if you have the opportunity to stand up for your energy body and stand up for yourself, and if you're not comfortable and you can change spaces, great. But if you can't, then mirror or wall works really well. So I hope you never have to go through that. I hope you never have gone through that. But just in case you do, I want you to be fully armed and know what to do. Also, empathic clear sensation can occur within your mind alone. You don't have to be sitting next to a person. You don't need to be in that office meeting. If you're actually just thinking about the office meeting or thinking about that family gathering, you can psych yourself out for preparation, to prepare yourself that you're going to have to deal with a creepy person or uncomfortable situation or whatever that may be. So when you're thinking about those moments within your mind, intention, you can actually protect your soul or your senses from those moments, from those people and those scenarios. In doing so, it's just not the anticipation of that agitating you, is actually that you're melding already in those spaces and you're getting uncomfortable. And so if that comes for warning that, you know what, I'm not feeling up to it or whatever, you can go and prepare or deny the invitation. But if you have to go, then you can be prepared and suit up. So imagine that you surround yourself with white light and be like, all right, I'm going in and I'm gonna have mirrors all around me. Boy, I would have loved to know this or something like this in many corporate meetings that I attended, but oh well, it is what it is, right? I know now. Now, I get this question a lot. Sometimes we find ourselves in situations where we're not melding, but enmeshed with someone else's energy field. Yari, I don't know what to do. I just can't keep him or her out of my mind. You have to disconnect. You have to disconnect. You have to unplug. You have to stop thinking about them. Turn your attention away. Turn to other things. All right. I tell my coaching clients to have some memories ready for these moments. A movie scene, a show scene that you love and that always makes you smile. If it makes you laugh out loud, even better. Laughter is a very strong medicine, so use it to your advantage. Laughter actually changes the chemistry of your brain. So if you have memories of movies, shows, jokes, whatever, have them ready. Have them ready in your mind. You can even make it like a little list so you have them available to you to use when needed. All right. If that doesn't work, use all your resources available to you. Ask your guides, ask your angels. But you need to help yourself too. Don't tell me, but Yari, I just cannot get him out of my mind. If you are not really trying and you're spending all your time listening to love songs and watching love movies and such, you're not trying. You gotta try. Okay? You gotta try. So be mindful and ask yourself, what's going on? What's going on in my mind? Where am I now? Really, no, where am I? Am I in the present? Am I in the past? Am I in the future? Am I in a different space? Am I here now? Like I'm really here now because I'm paying attention to what I need to be saying and you. So I'm really present right now. And that's where you want to spend most of your time in reality, not in the past, not in the future, in the present. Because the past is gone, the future is not here yet. What you got is right now, right this second. Be here, be present, okay? You got this. You can do it. I promise you, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. So listen and listen carefully because this is important, okay? Intention is everything, really, everything. I do a lot of witchcraft. Um, and a lot of my clients come to me because they're convinced that someone put a curse on them because everything in their lives is going wrong. So here's the deal. A lot of you are doing this to your own selves because if you get up in the morning fussing, that you're tired, that you hate your job, that you hate your boss, that your coworkers are stupid, and you get into your car and everybody drives like a moron, and you go get lunch and you complain about the price and the service is bad and the food is mediocre, and you go home and the kids are being loud and you complain about them and about your husband because he didn't do this or he didn't do that, and you would like to go on vacation but you don't have enough money to go, so you're cursing the entire time in your head while you're cooking and cleaning up, and you go to bed pissed off. How do you think your life is going to go? How? You're doing this to yourself, okay? It's a mindset issue. But Yari, I'm a really positive person. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not a positive person. If you live your days like this, you are not a positive person. You're not. You're in denial. And we got days like that, but we want the pattern. We want the pattern of that most days are positive. You gotta have a day like that. You gotta have a day like that, okay? We're human. We don't strive for perfection, right? But we want most of our days, 90% of our days, to be actually positive, okay? And sometimes I complain about my husband too and my wife. That's my job, okay? Yeah, I do. But most of the time, I remember what a wonderful person he is. All he does so we can have a good life. The point is that we're always going to want things that we don't have. But if we get stuck in that mindset, if we get stuck in complaining all day long about how much your life sucks, your life is gonna continue sucking, okay? Because that's all the universe is here, is us talking about that. So they say, oh, she must love her life because that's all she's talking about. So we're gonna give her some more, right? Remember your blessings every day, as much as you can throughout your day. And I know you got blessings. I know you do. First, because you're alive. Okay. Second, because you're listening to me. If you're listening to me, you're listening, you must have some kind of device to listen to me from. So if you have a device, you have a home, you have a bed, you have food. So start there. Start there. Those are your first blessings. So look for the blessings. You know, we've had this storm for all week, right? I looked outside today and the sun was shining. I'm like, oh, what a blessing. The sun is shining again. And it's going to rain in a minute again because the storm hasn't passed completely yet. But right now, the sun is shining. And all that water, all that beautiful water is going to go through the dirt, and it's gonna be really all the nutrients are gonna, the plants are gonna have some food and some water for a long time because it's rained for like a month nonstop. So look for the blessings, remember them, be grateful for them every single day. It's the biggest change that I ever made, that made the most impact in my life, in my journey, was to be watchful of what goes on in my head. Every judgment, every thought, change it to a positive. Don't complain. Be thankful. Don't cuss. Don't gossip. Don't judge. Just don't. Try for a day. Try for half a day. And then try for a day, then try for a week, then try for a month, and watch your life change. I promise. Watch it and then let me know. I would love to hear stories. So let me know. Okay. I hope this was helpful. And I'll see you next week. I'll see you during the group. Bye.